everyone. I'm Grace Taylor, Madison's younger sister. I'm very pleased to be here today to introduce the retiring address of Maddie. It's been very exciting watching her throughout her FFA journey and watching her light shine as she shares her passion for FFA with everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the little sister Meredith. Maddie and I are alike in many ways and also in different ways. But one thing is for certain, I am so proud of all she has accomplished, as she is truly a role model, not only for me, but for young students and FFA members.
Well, I'm not a sister, but I feel like a sister to Madison. I'm Jamie Kuzlik, and Madison and I have been best friends since junior high. She truly has a flame that burns bright and joy in her heart as she shares her passion for agriculture.
I think it's safe to say that anyone that knows Madison knows she has an intense desire to touch everyone she can with her message about FFA and the opportunities within this organization. She has done an outstanding job this year, and we couldn't be more proud. Please join us now in welcoming your 2015-2016 Minnesota FFA State Reporter, our sister and friend, Madison Taylor.
Let your light shine for all to see, and start a fire in my soul. Fan the flame and make it grow. So there's no doubt or denying. Let it burn so brightly that everyone around can see that it's you that we need. Start a fire in me. You only need a spark to start a whole blaze. It only takes a little faith. Let it start right here in this city. So these old walls will never.
James Keller once said, "A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Without sufficient heat, a fire cannot begin. Without oxygen, a fire will not continue to burn. And without fuel, a fire will stop." A fire naturally occurs when the elements are combined and present in the right mixture, meaning that fire is actually an event, which also means that a flame can be extinguished by removing any one of these elements. Look at this candle. When we see the candle, we see the wax and the wick. But it's the flame that draws our attention and makes it hard to look away. We often are mesmerized by the changing color dance of the burning light. In fact, if a candle lights another candle, the flame loses nothing. It just creates another event. Throughout high school, I was a three-sport athlete, focused a lot of my attention on my academics, and of course, I loved being active and involved in my FFA chapter. I had my heart set on attending a college where I could play sports. But then one day, my senior year, the world literally changed for me right before my eyes. I distinctly remember attending agriculture policy boot camp and meeting some of the most remarkable fellow members, state officers, and agricultural leaders, like Mr. Kevin Papp, the president of Minnesota Farm Bureau. During that conference, we were able to learn about policy making, meet with legislators, sit in on committee meetings, and even be introduced on the floor of the House of Representatives. The knowledge that I gained, the friendships that I made, and the interest that I took away from that experience was unlike any other, and I came home fired up about FFA. The people at that conference shared their candlelight with me and lit a fire within my soul. They were passionate about FFA and agricultural education, and they fueled my fire and ignited my flame for FFA. As I mentioned earlier, it takes all three elements to make a fire burn. I think having been an FFA member and a chapter officer, I already had the sufficient heat. But what I really needed was the oxygen and the fuel to get my flame burning bright. The people that I met at Agriculture Policy Boot Camp willingly shared their greatness with me and lit my candle. My flame was burning so bright when I finished my senior year, I planned to head to the University of Minnesota to study agriculture. I could hardly wait to hit the ground running. Watch out, St. Paul, Maddie's coming. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. But that soon changed. About halfway through my freshman year, my flame started to fade. What happens when the oxygen levels begin to run low and the fuel source is hardly present? How do we react? And how do we keep our fires so that we too can ignite a flame within others? The oxygen levels that were needed to keep my flame burning were running low, and my fuel source seemed scarce. Although I loved school and my friends and my extracurricular events, I was barely able to keep the flame alive, let alone try and share it with others. I distinctly remember sitting at my desk in my dorm room, and I just couldn't fuel the passion that I once had. I was running in circles and spinning my wheels. My anxiety was so high because I had so much to do and so little to go on. I was trying to study for chemistry, write papers on the history of television for my mass communications class, stay on top of group projects, and earn my place on the club volleyball team, all while being an involved and engaged freshman on campus. I just couldn't do it. I had nothing to go on, and I wanted to quit. My fire and flame was barely burning, let alone shining bright anymore. In that moment, I couldn't figure out why I felt that way or why my passion was dwindling. But now looking back on it, I realized that although I loved those activities that I was doing and the friendships that I made, the passion and the life that they gave me wasn't fulfilling my heart. However, a flame and a fire that burns as bright as FFA does is hard to hide under a bush. One of the first friends that I met when I came to college was Valerie Early. Now, Valerie and I hadn't known each other very well before school started, but that soon changed as we got underway. I would spend nights just sitting on the floor in Valerie's room or with her on mine. Most nights we would be working on homework together, but other nights I would be studying and she would be working on her tasks as she was in the heart of her year as an FFA state officer. I was mesmerized by the blog she was writing, the members she was interacting with, and the energy that she would beam when she came back from any single FFA event. I watched as her flame grew brighter, and I watched as she lit the flame within others. Her enthusiasm and energy radiated from her. And again, my flame began to burn just a little bit brighter. And my passion was reignited. My candle had found new fuel, and once again, my flame began to burn bright. I knew then and there, on that cold January evening, listening to Valerie tell her story about her trip to Africa, that I too could use my flame to ignite a fire within others. So I began my steps toward running for state office. I was finally surrounding myself with people that created sparks of encouragement and love and passion and joy for the things that I love. I finally had found sufficient heat, oxygen, and fuel to keep my flame burning bright. I could hardly wait to create some sparks and light some candles within FFA members across the state of Minnesota. Please take a minute now and reach under your chair. each of you a candle to take with you as a reminder that a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Now, hold your candle out in front of you and close your eyes. Think of that person or that event that has ignited a fire within your soul. When you think of that person or that event, open your eyes, turn your candle on, and hold it up for everybody to see. You all have the power to ignite a flame in others. You have a flame that can make a difference within somebody else's life. For us as FFA members, a fire has been lit in each of us. Maybe we are fueled by different types of fires, but no matter what the source, we can't hide it. Not only should we not hide our light, but we should share our candlelight to ignite a fire within others. Let your light shine. You only need a spark to start a whole blaze. So start a fire within your soul and fan the flame to make it grow. Let it burn so brightly that everyone around you can see, because you are the fire and you are the flame. Minnesota FFA, thank you for lighting my candle. You've inspired me, ignited my passion, and fueled my fire for FFA, agricultural education, and leadership. Thank you for starting a fire within my soul.
Madison Taylor, together we have spent the last year traveling across Minnesota sharing our passion for agriculture. Thank you for being such an amazing person with just the right amount of focus and fun, and thank you for making this such a great year. And most importantly, thank you for keeping my flame burning bright this year. Together forever, Morgan, Mariah, PJ, Sam, and Travis, Minnesota FFA, I present to you your 2015-2016 State Reporter, Madison Taylor.
So there's no doubt for the